Well, I'm joined now by the president of the US Police Foundation, Jim Bueermann, and in Baton Rouge by activist Arthur Reed, whose group Stop the Killing filmed the shooting of Alton Sterling. And Arthur Reed, I wonder if the filming of it is the thing that may start to make the difference, because if it's on video, you can't lie about it.
Well, we still have individuals on the ground here in Baton Rouge. The government is still lying about it. They're still saying that this is a justified kill, and that's why the second video was released. We're dealing with a beast here, and we have been dealing with it for some time. This is news to you, but it's not new to us. So this is news for you, but it's not new to us. We deal with it every day. We have a very, very, very hot-headed police force that treat individuals here like they're on the plantation and definitely don't mind killing them at any given time. This is not the first murder. This is our third by the police department here. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to get national news. It's like being stuck in a concentration camp with no one caring about what's going on. We have the national news now, and that's all we want to do is let them know what type of oppression is going on here and the hypocrisy of America when they will send some of these very same individuals that they're killing on the streets. They will put them in the Army or put them in the Marine Corps and send them into other countries to fight for that country's democracy and deny those individuals that same democracy right here in the United States.
Well, as you say, there have been several killings. There have been mass movements around this. The Black Lives Matter movement has been internationally famous now. You've got a black president. Why is nothing changing?
One of the things that is happening, and one of the things that we have recognized, is that we have to all work on this on our scales. And Black Lives Matter is an excellent movement, but Black lives will never matter until it matters to black people first. We don't overlook that we have a lot of violence that's taking place in our communities. That's what Stop the Killing is about. Helping stop that violence that takes place in our community. We hold ourselves accountable for what we do in our community, so we have to have that atmosphere too. If black lives don't matter to black people, then it shouldn't matter to anybody else, and that's why we see what we're seeing happening right now. So it has to start with us caring about us and saying, damn it, if you kill me, then I'm going to make something be done about it. But as long as we're killing each other and nothing's being done, we're going to continue to see this type of action.
Let me turn to Jim Bueermann in the studio for a moment. Are these police officers following their training or breaking their training, or what?
Well, if you're talking about these particular incidents, I don't know yet, because the investigations aren't done. This gentleman that just spoke eloquently, I think, about the frustration that many Americans are having about the police use of force, and certainly the level of violence in the United States.
But are you horrified by what you see? Because it's there on video for us all to see now.
Yeah, I'm disturbed by it. I mean, I think anybody with any compassion for people at all would be disturbed by that video. Whether that's a justifiable use of force or not will be determined by the U.S. Department of Justice and their investigation, and then by the local authorities, and then there'll be another investigation about the policy. But those investigations take a while, and that's problematic for the people of those communities because they expect and need answers now, not sometime in the future, but these do take a while.
Because once it's on video, I mean, you know, with you saying whether it's justifiable, a lot of people are just very confused. How could it possibly be justifiable in either of those
Absolutely.
cases? Could you just explain how they might be justifiable?
So in the United States, the police use of force is mandated by a U.S. Supreme Court decision that talks about the objective reasonableness of police use of force. It's either justified or not based on whether it was a reasonable use of force under our Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. This is a complicated legal issue for most people to understand. What is not complicated is the appearance of officers unjustifiably using force in killing people.
Do you believe there are racist police officers out there who fire first and think later?
I think that there are racist people in our country. Some of them probably are police officers. I have not worked with those, but it would not make sense to me to say that there are no racist police officers. That just doesn't make sense. What may be more problematic is the implicit bias built into the system about who is likely to hurt a police officer or be violent, and that may drive their behavior, and that may even be driving their training and the policies.
Arthur Reed, what is the relevance of the fact that both of these men were armed?
Yes.
I mean, one of them is reported to have had a concealed weapons license. The provenance of the other weapon isn't yet clear.
Well, Well, they have saying that he had a weapon. Our point here is that when you encounter other citizens that are not African American, you would walk up to them and say, we got a call that you could possibly have a weapon. Do you have a permit for that weapon? They don't go and tackle white people here in America because they say they have a gun. They don't put them on police cars for hours at a time. They do not treat blacks the same that they treat whites here in America. When it comes down to if they're racist police on the force, of course they are. Where did the Ku Klux Klan go? Most of them have went into police and law enforcement. These are members of a secret society that are assassinating blacks here in America. They don't want to deal with it, but we have to start dealing with it because we're sick and tired of being killed the way that they're killing us when they're supposed to be protecting us. That is the main thing, and that is the main argument that we're making. If the young man had a gun and it was an illegal gun, he did not reach for that gun. The video shows that. He put his hands on his chest. The police officer pulls him back down to his side. He puts him back on his chest and say, please don't kill me. The police officer pulls him back down, gun, and then they fire on him. That is an unjust killing. I don't care how they look at it, it's unjust because it's strictly murder, and we seeing it here every single day, and we're just sick and tired of it right now. When we take this stand, we know that NBC, CNN, all of those people will be gone tomorrow. It'll be right back to the same racist police force that we deal with, but at least the story has been told. So when more bloodshed is shed in the streets of Baton Rouge, we will have access to y'all and make sure that we continue to show the hypocrisy here in America that takes place in the urban communities.
We've seen anger on the streets in America after previous shootings. Is there a danger that this one too, or these two, will also lead to anger and violence on the streets?
We're doing a peaceful protest here. We're not trying to spill over into tearing up our community. We're staying focused. We're keeping things under control. We're staying out late at night, making sure that the same type of activism that we have been putting down for years, we're staying out, making sure that these individuals control themselves, warning them, hey, be careful. You know what we're dealing with here. So we're doing what we have to do. In America, that secret society doesn't just stretch to law enforcement. It stretches to some of the Supreme Court justices. It stretches to some of the lawyers, some of the judges. It stretches to all kinds of individuals. And when you see that, yes.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Arthur Reed. Just very briefly, Jim Bueermann, last word. Again, this question of video. Is body-worn video now, has it got to be accepted by all forces?
I think so.
You've got to wear it, haven't you?
I absolutely think so. And I think in the next probably 5 years, you're going to see in American policing that body-worn cameras are as ubiquitous as handcuffs and sidearms.
Jim Bueermann, thank you very much indeed.